Blender. What is Blender? Blender is a free and open source 3D creation suite. It supports the entirety of the 3D pipeline: modeling, animation, simulation, rendering, video editing and game creation. Blender is cross-platform, and runs equally well on Linux, Windows, and Macintosh computers. The interface uses OpenGL to provide a consistent experience. In 1988, Ton Roosendaal co-founded the Dutch animation studio Neo Geo. Neo Geo became the largest 3D animation studio. After careful deliberation, Ton decided that the current in-house 3D toolset for Neo Geo was too old, and hard to maintain, and needed to be rewritten from scratch. In 1995, this rewrite began, and was destined to become the 3D software creation, Blender. In the summer of 2000, Blender 2.0 was released. This version of Blender added the integration of a game engine to the 3D application. In 2001, Blender Publisher was launched, with new investor funding. Due to disappointing sales, the new investors decided to shut down all the operations. The shutdown also included discontinuing the development of Blender. In July 2002, Ton managed to get the new investors, and planned to release Blender as open source. On October 13, 2002, Blender was released to the world, under the terms of the new GPL. Blender development continues to this day, led by Blender's original creator, Ton Roosendaal. Blender is a 3D computer graphics program that comes with a variety of features, such as rendering, modeling, sculpting, animation, grease pencil, VFX, simulation, pipeline, video editing, and scripting. Blender is used as a tool in this project to create a scene of a bedroom. In order to create the bedroom scene, I need to draw some furniture, such as a bed, side table, lamp, wardrobe and sofa. I use the modeling feature to draw the furniture. This image shows the bedroom scene that I created using Blender. I used the mesh modeling feature to create all the furniture. I started to draw the wardrobe and side table by using the mesh primitive shape, cube and circle. After added the shapes, I began editing the shapes to create a larger and more complex shapes. I used a lot of cubes for the tables, to create the base, drawers and legs. I also used circles, to draw the handles, for the side tables. In order to draw the lamp, I used a circle for the lamp base, and cylinders for the frame and body. The images above show the cloth simulation process for the blanket. Firstly, I added a mesh primitive shape, plane to create the blanket. Then, I added a cloth simulation to the blanket shape, and set the cloth simulation to the cotton preset. Next, I went to the collision section, and enabled self-collision. Lastly, played the animation, and the cloth deformed quite quickly. The process to create a pillow is a bit similar to the blanket. Firstly, I added a cube mesh in Blender. Then, I added subdivisions, and put the number of cuts for the pillow, to make it more real. Lastly, made it as a cloth surface, turned on the self-collision, and played the simulation, until the cube turned into a pillow. The process to create the sofa is quite simpler than the pillow. Firstly, added some cubes in Blender. In order to make the cubes with round edges, I need to add the modifiers to the cubes. Modifiers are automatic operations that affect an object's geometry in a non-destructive way. To change the color of an object, I need to select the object, and then access the viewport display options in the material properties. Next, click the color sample field, and select a color from the wheel. In conclusion, Blender is a fast-growing tool even now. Even though it is difficult to learn, there are a lot of free tutorials available to help to understand the basic and advanced control of Blender. Hope you will find this video useful and constructive.